Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Ron Wallace here with Ballin' Down South Sports Network, here with another episode of the interview. My next guest is a graduate of Baker High School. He played basketball for head coach Daniel Bumpers back in the day, and that was a legendary coach. And in his first season as head coach at his current job, he won an area championship. He went to the 2018-19 championship appearance here in the state of Alabama against Mountain Brook. And just last season, he took his team to the regional semifinals against Fairhope, Alabama. Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you to Baker head coach basketball for the Varsity boys, David Armstrong. How you doing today, Coach?
I'm doing great, man. How about yourself?
Pretty good, man. How's the family doing with the pandemic and everything?
Man, we're good. We're trying to you know, trying to make some life changes. We got big news in our family. My wife and I are planning to adopt, so we're working on that. We've been trying to stay not crazy throughout this quarantine, staying home, trying to do a little bit of basketball here and there, trying to make the house look nice. But everybody's safe, everybody's healthy. That's a good thing.
Well, congratulations on. Hope that adoption goes well. So, talk a little bit about yourself for the people that don't know who Coach David Armstrong is. Go back to your high school days at Baker High School and coming up, through the coaching ranks over there. Because I know you coached a lot of different things. I saw your resume and where you are now today.
I went to Baker High School from seventh grade all the way through 12th. I walked in the doors at Baker High School in 1997. Uh, I played 4 years of baseball here at Baker. That was my main sport. That's what I was best at. Played football my freshman year, but didn't really like it, so changed to basketball. My sophomore year, played 3 years of basketball here at Baker. Um, Played for Coach Bumpers. Loved the guy. Learned the game of basketball from him. Learned to love the game of basketball from him. It took me 10 years to get my college degree. Unfortunately, it took me too long. But eventually got it. Graduated of the University of South Alabama, uh, and then came to Baker. When I first started here, I wanted to coach baseball because that's what I played. But they didn't need baseball coaches at the time. Coach Blackerby, who was the head basketball coach at the time, said he'd take me on as a coach. So I was kind of the assistant JV coach for 2 years. During those 2 years, I also was the defensive coordinator for freshman football, which I knew nothing about. Didn't do anything but try to learn it. When Coach Blackerby stepped down and Coach Deacon took over here, I became the JV head coach for basketball. I ended up becoming the freshman football head coach at that time. And then I also ended up coaching or an assistant JV baseball coach at that time too. So there was 2 years there that I coached three sports. And when Coach Deacon decided to leave and try the college route, I stepped into the role as head basketball coach, and I've been that for 3 years now, going on season 4 now.
Now, what position did you play in baseball?
I was a pitcher and a first baseman. About the only place you could put a 6'8" unathletic kid.
Yeah, I was about to say, I'm like, man, now I know he couldn't play shortstop or something. He had to play pitcher or something like that. So I'm like, wow. So, coach, now since you've been there, you pretty much have taken your teams to the playoffs, high in the playoffs, and then you reached the championship game one year, and then last season you guys made it to Montgomery. Talk a little bit about how you was able to come in and be able to lead your guys, to those high feats.
Well, me being the JV coach the 2 years before I got the varsity job was huge in our success a couple of years ago. Those guys and I became real close over their 4 years here. And so we knew each other inside and out. And that season we went to the Final Four in the championship game. You know, it was we were so close that we kind of knew everything about each other. We knew how to play with each other, and it was a really great experience. Uh, Unfortunately, we didn't make it back last year. Fairhope kind of took us out in the regionals. They're a really good basketball team, but you know, we've continued that. I think Coach Blackerby started kind of putting Baker on the map as a basketball program. Coach Deacon did a good job. We made it to the playoffs with Coach Deacon both years he was here. And then my job was to keep that momentum and try to add to it. And luckily we did that in my second season. And we're going to try and do that again this year.
Well, I can tell you this: you had some guys on that squad that you coached that were some pretty good players. So talk a little bit about some of the things that you like doing as a head coach and to make a spot on your program, and what's your coaching philosophy?
My favorite thing about being a coach is the kids. I love being around these guys. I love uh, being a part of their lives. Sports was a huge part of my life growing up. Played baseball my whole life. Played basketball in high school. It molded who I am today. And so I try to go into every day to make sure these kids uh, get better at not only basketball but in life. I want them to be good kids. I want them to be good men, husbands, fathers, sons as their life goes on. You know, my goal is not necessarily to win games. We want to, obviously, but when all is said and done, I'd love in 10 or 15 years these guys to start coming to these games and bringing me their kids and saying, "Hey, coach, I want you to meet Johnny or Susie, and bring them around and be a part of our lives later on." I still have good relationships with most of the guys that have played here. Uh, we talk on as regular basis as I can make it happen. I'll call them; they'll call me. It's I get to see them where they're at work. It's great to be a part of this community and be a part of these kids' lives. Um, Coaching philosophy, it's kind of evolved over the years. I think more of what I'm looking forward to is what I look forward to, for us to be is I want us to be the best. By be the best, I mean I want us to be the best in every aspect of our life. I want us to be the best in the class, to be the best sons, be the best husbands later on. I want you to be the best player you can be today. I'm not worried about the end result. If you're best you can be today, then you're the best you can be tomorrow. That whenever it comes down to when we got to win a game in February, we're going to be the best we can be. And that's what we look forward to every day. So I just tell these guys every day, be your best.
Now, have you gotten helped any of your guys that's not on your squad anymore get into college and are currently still playing college ball right now?
So we have, I know two that have played, they're playing right now. Vincent Douglas plays at Coastal Alabama South. He's a heck of a shooter. He played with us my first year as head coach. He went on to play at a prep school in Maryland the year after that. And then last year he played with Coastal Alabama South and Coach Robertson and Coach Lanier up there. He did great. I think he was injured a little bit last year, battled some stuff, but he's a knockdown shooter. He's one of the best shooters I've ever coached. Um, Jalen Lilly, who graduated 2 years ago, he played at Bishop last year. I assume he's going to go back there next year. I haven't heard anything different. And then this year we had one of our seniors named Jalen Petway signed with Ellsworth College in Iowa Falls. So we're excited to see what he's going to do there. I've got several guys that I've coached that play college football. Chris Davis playing at Southern University. We've got Fernando Billups plays at Tuskegee. Kelvin Rogers, I'm trying to remember where he plays, somewhere in North Carolina. Um, but most people know me for I like guys that play multiple sports. I'm big on playing a lot of sports, and that group we took to the Final Four was a bunch of football guys. I think last year's group that just graduated, Leo Richards is going to go play college football somewhere. Cade Collier is just left this weekend to go to. Oh man, I'm drawing a blank. A school in Louisiana that he's going to play football at as well as a tight end.
Well, it sounds like even though those guys play on the hardwood, they may go off and play another sport or whatever like that, and that's commendable to you. You guys got a lot of kids coming through there, furthering their education and their athletic careers. So, talk a little bit about the roster you had last season. Some of the heavy hitters you got, like Christian Bergill, whom I know you'll be getting back next season.
Yeah, Christian is our best player. Christian's our point guard. Um, he's one of the best shooters in this area by far. He's one of the hardest people to guard in Mobile County and probably in Baldwin County as well. Uh, if you got a chance to watch him at all last year, he's liable to go off for 30 on you real quick. We're really excited to see what he's going to do next season, his senior year. I've seen this through the quarantine. I've actually seen Christian kind of get a little stronger and grow a little bit, and you know, he's going to be a force to be reckoned with. I think people overlook him sometimes, and they better not, because that kid's going to come out and he's going to give you 30 if you ain't careful. Um, we've got another kid, a sophomore, coming up to be a junior next year, who's going to be a three-sport athlete next year. He's going to play football for the first time, but he's also he's a stud on a baseball field. His name is Javen Williams. That we're really looking forward to seeing what he's going to give us. Not many people know Javen because he's still kind of young, but he's one of the best defenders we got. He shoots it well. He plays hard at all times. He's going to be somebody that people need to look out for. Some of the guys we had last year, we mentioned Cade Collier's going to play football. Leo's going to play football. We had another kid named Corion Patterson. I think he told me the other day he's going to go to school at Alabama A&M, and he's going to give it a shot, see if he can't walk on there. I've got, Ben Markovich, who just graduated as well. He's going to go to Alabama. I think he's going to get a degree in engineering. He's a super smart kid. Excited to see what he does. We talked about Jalen Petway. He's going to Ellsworth College in Iowa Falls. I'm really excited about that. I think not a lot of people know how good Jalen could possibly be. Jalen didn't start playing basketball for us till his junior year, and he was on the JV team because I had several guys above him that were, on that Final Four team that I just didn't think he was going to overplay. And then, last year he was basically like a one-year varsity player. He had great moments. He had moments where he wasn't great, but he's got a huge upside. He's one of the most athletic guys we've had here. He can jump out of the gym, works on his shot. He'll get, he's about 6'4", 6'5". He's going to be a stud if people put in the time with him. And then I've got,
Go ahead.
Go ahead. I said we've got some young guys. We've got some young guys that are coming through, some incoming freshmen that I'm really excited about. We've got some sophomores that I think are going to have a great upside as well. We may be young next year outside of Christian. We got some seniors, Darius Jones, Jordan Norwood. Those guys can shoot the lights out. I think we're going to be fun to watch next year. We're going to be smaller than we've been in the past, but we're going to be fun to watch.
Well, I can guarantee you guys, your guys going to want to play fast, because if they're smaller, they can outrun those big guys running up and down that court and tire them out. So, what exactly some of the teams you got coming on your schedule this coming year, some of the big hitters, some of the big games you're going to have to contend with?
Well, and hopefully we end up playing this full schedule. Obviously, the coronavirus situation could change things, but we scheduled mostly 7A teams. I tried to schedule the 7A teams from down here, mainly because I wanted to be able to see them before the regionals. Obviously, we're going to play the teams in Mobile and Baldwin County when we go to Montgomery in the regionals. So those are the teams we need to know before we get there. So we've got every 7A team in our region we play. So we've got, of course, our area, Theodore, Bryant, Davidson, MGM. And then we've also got Daphne, the new member of 7A. We've got Foley and Murphy. And I'm missing one somewhere in there. But we've got all those guys. And Fairhope. We've got them all on the schedule. Can't miss Fairhope. We got them all on the schedule this year. We're at least playing them once. We're playing McGill twice. It's a great rivalry game for us. It's going to be a little different now that they're not in 7A, but we like to play them. I enjoy playing those guys. It's always a fun night. I think we got Faith on the schedule for a game. So it's not an easy schedule. We're scheduled to go play at the N2 Hoops tournament in Huntsville.
Okay.
We're bound to run up against somebody up there, Bob Jones or Huntsville, or, I don't even know if my buddy Deacon from Austin's going to be in that tournament or not, but hopefully we play somebody like that up there, another 7A, team that we get to see from that area.
My next question is, so, dealing with the pandemic, to stay at walk down guidelines, what have you guys done over at Baker High School, and how have the guys, if you guys have done any workouts, how have they been dealing with it?
We've been working out 3 days a week. They've been doing a good job. We've been lifting, which I'm really happy with. We redid our weight room here at Baker High School right at the end of the quarantine, right before we got the guys back. We opened it up, got a lot more room in there, more racks, more stuff that has really helped us get better. And we've done a really good job with what we've done in the weight room. On the floor, obviously, we haven't played 5-on-5 or 3-on-3. We played anything. We've stayed to skill work, working on dribbling, shooting. It's awkward, but I think we've kind of gotten used to trying new things out. I've been doing a lot of, try out this drill, try out that drill to see what works. Because I assume that whenever we do start back, we're still going to have some form of social distancing when practice does resume. If we don't know how to do some individual drills and kind of buy into just getting better at our own single self, we're going to be in trouble. So we've done a lot of different drills. We've worked on footwork. I've got an amazing assistant coach, Coach Andre Epps, who was, formerly at Burns Middle School before he came to Baker last year. He's helped me tremendously working with footwork and speed work with these guys. We really wish we could work on some defense because, he's got some great ideas that we're going to implement this year to get better on defensive end. But obviously, we hadn't been able to do that. I tried to do some one-on-one drills for the first time yesterday, just testing some things out. Hopefully, we'll be able to get to do more of that as the weeks drag on.
Well, I've been asking every coach I get on here that I'm interviewing, if you had a kid that is going into their senior year, last year playing high school sports, and they're getting ready to go play at the college level, what would you tell that kid?
Have fun. Enjoy it. I know sometimes us as coaches, we make this seem like a job to kids. We try to push them, to doing more. I wish they'd have fun. I look back, I wish I'd have had more fun when I played. I don't think of it as I know I had fun, but I think I thought too much about the wins and losses back then or what I was scoring. I wish I'd have just had fun with it.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here on the Ball Down South Sports Network. Baker head basketball coach David Armstrong. Thanks for coming on the network, Coach.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it, man.
Oh, don't get much better than this.